This video is on something that quite a number of students have requested: how to study for the Paper 1 Continuous Writing exam. Now, a lot of students think that studying for composition writing just means write more essays. But to be honest, just writing more doesn't actually help much, unless you're improving how you write each time. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to prepare in the smart way, not the hard way. Hi everyone, I'm Teacher Cheryl. Welcome back to Chers English Tuition. In this channel, we bring you mini lessons for secondary school English. If you want to stay on top of your English game, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you never miss out on any of our lessons. Okay, so here's what we'll be covering in this video. We're going to look at the exam requirements because it's important that you know what the examiners are looking out for, and so you can prepare for that. And then we're going to talk about how you can prepare step by step. We'll also give you some countdown tips, what to do before your exam, and a few more bonus tips and practice questions. Let's start with the basics. Exam requirements. Continuous writing is in Paper 1, Section C of the O-Level English exams. It's worth 30 marks, and you must choose 1 out of 4 topics. Your essay should be about 350 to 500 words. There are also different question types. So here are some examples. Personal recount. As I looked back, I realized I had made the right decision. Write about a time when you experienced this. The second question type are descriptive essays. Some people enjoy being in a crowded place, while others prefer somewhere quieter with fewer people. Describe your perfect place when you want to relax. A third question type are expository or discursive essays. Shoppers have too much choice, from chocolate bars to jeans. What, in your opinion, are the advantages and disadvantages of having too many things to choose from? We also have the argumentative or persuasive essay question type. Schools should teach practical skills such as cooking and managing our finances. Do you agree? And the final question type are hybrid essays. Describe a special meal you enjoy with friends or family, as well as describing the food. Explain where and when you have the meal and why it is important to you. So these are the common essay question types you will get in the O-Level exams. And yes, you need to be ready for all kinds of writing. Let's take a look at the marking criteria. This is the assessment criteria from the MOE SEAB website. You'll be marked for content and language. For content, all aspects of the task must be fully addressed and developed in detail. For language, you are marked based on whether your ideas are presented coherently and cohesively across the whole of your response, the effective use of vocabulary and grammar structures, as well as the accurate use of complex vocabulary, grammar, punctuation, and spelling. So as mentioned, we're going to look at how you can prepare for your Paper 1 Compo writing. And to make things easier for you to remember, we're going to use the acronym PREPARE. So let's start with the first one, P. And P stands for PREP. This is basically where you're going to get your study materials ready. This will include your notes, strategies that you've learned from whatever lessons that you've taken, any feedback you've received, tips for the exam or how to write better, your past completed compositions, vocabulary lists, and any other relevant materials. You should file them and put them all together neatly. You can organize your notes according to question type or strategies, basically whichever works best for you. And once you've got all of that organized, you can keep adding to your study set. So that's P. We're going on to RE, which is to revise. The first thing you need to do when you're revising is to review your study set. This is where you're going to go through all your notes. You should take note of the things that you are already good at, because those are the things that you should continue doing. You should also take note of your weak areas, because you need to try to think of how you can improve them. You can look for strategies that you can apply, past feedback that you've received. You can also look through vocabulary and phrases that can be used in your writing. The next thing you can do when revising is to think of examples or experiences for different themes or topics. You can start by listing out common topics, and then you brainstorm for ideas and points for each one. So you may be asking now, why should I do that? Because many topics actually overlap. For example, the topic of technology. It can be linked to social media, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence,
1 minute, 37 seconds later,
education, gaming, space exploration,
3 hours later.
healthcare, virtual reality, and so on. So you don't actually need to create separate lists for every single topic. That would be too much. Plus, it's also hard to predict exactly which topics will come out in the exam. So instead, your goal is to build a flexible set of ideas that you can use very quickly when you're in the exam room. Think of them as generic points that you can later tweak to fit the actual question you are given. Let's say during a revision, you wrote down some advantages of technology, such as communication or access to information. So those same points could be used for a wide range of topics, like social media, gaming, or technology in education. Let's use social media as an example. We can say that social media platforms allow people to stay connected instantly, regardless of where they are in the world. And then you can expand on this point more. You can say stuff like, this makes it easier to collaborate on school projects, or even build new connections with others who share the same interest. We also have another video on how to expand your points clearly and effectively. You can find the link in the description box below. So remember one important thing, during revision, you can focus on collecting ideas. And then during the exam, you focus on adapting them and expanding on them to match the specific question. The next thing you can use for your revision are model essays. But don't memorize entire paragraphs or essays because every question is different. Instead, as you are looking through the model essays, you can pretend to be the examiner. Look out for positive things in the essay that you can apply to your own writing. This can include good phrases, strategies, ideas, and so on. You can also think about what can be improved in the model essay as well. Then you can try rewriting the sections to be improved on, or try reconstructing the entire model essay in your own way. If you find our lessons helpful, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to share it with your friends as well. We also provide online tuition classes for secondary school students.
Matthew. So Matthew is doing practice question 1.
In the video, there's a scene of what seems to be a person using her mobile phone to text other people and communicate them while she's laughing, which makes her seem like she's having fun doing so.
So yes, so Matthew was very well organized points there. For the second point as well, just make sure to link a little bit more like for the purpose of the mobile phones. You can talk about how you can search for the answers anytime.
If you're unable to attend our live lessons, you can join our lesson video course as well. We have new lesson videos added every week. If you need any further help, please contact us through our website or on WhatsApp. I'll leave the link in the description box below for you. Let's go on to the next P, which is to practice. This is where you're going to apply what you revised. So by now, you should know all the question types already. And this practice time is also for you to try out the various writing strategies, using vocabulary phrases, and see which one works best for you. You need to practice writing on a range of topics and question types. You can actually search online for different question prompts. There are so many online. One thing to note is that it's okay to focus on your strongest essay type, but don't ignore the rest because some topics may be very tricky. For example, if you only focus on persuasive essays, but maybe a topic that you are unfamiliar with comes out during the exam, and you try to force yourself to write about that topic, you might end up panicking, going off topic, or having no idea what to write. One more thing you need to remember to do is to always plan before you write. I know it can be really annoying, but even if you really hate planning, it's still very important. I personally do not like planning as well, but I really have seen the difference in writing quality between students who plan and students who don't. Planning helps you to organize your ideas, and you will end up writing more clearly. We also have another video on how to plan your essay. The link will be in the description box below as well. Do let us know in the comments below if you want us to make more videos on how to plan essays. Okay, so let's go back to our prepare strategy. The next one is A, and A stands for analyze. So after practicing, don't just move on and forget about your essay. You need to actually analyze your essay. So what you can do is to wait a few days and then come back to look through your essay again and try to give yourself some feedback. You can ask yourself, what did I do well? What can I improve on? You should be analyzing your vocabulary, your punctuation, your grammar, and sentence structures as well. Check your essay's relevance to the question, whether it has addressed the question or not. Also check whether your paragraphs are organized properly. And of course, make sure that the structure matches the question type. Also, try to get feedback from your friends, your family, or your teachers. And then what you can do is to add on to your study set. Whatever notes that you already have, just add on all this feedback that has been given to you. Once you've gotten all this, refer to your study notes again. See if there are any other strategies that you can apply to your writing, or maybe other vocabulary that you can use as well. Okay, so let's go on to the last part of prepare, RE, which stands for refine. This means that you need to refine and improve your essay. This is what you would call corrections. I think I can hear many of you going, ugh, corrections. If that's you, I felt the exact same way when I was a student as well. I hated corrections. But to be honest, this is really one of the best ways to help you see improvement in your writing. Take note that this is not just rewriting your entire essay for the sake of it, but it's about being very intentional with your rewrite. So from the previous step, you would have already analyzed your writing and also reviewed your study notes again to see what other strategies or vocabulary phrases or anything else that you can apply to improve your writing. So now, based on all the feedback you've received, your analysis, and the strategies that you've looked through again, you are going to write your second draft. Once you've finished your second draft, wait again for another few days. Then look through your work. Don't immediately check your work after writing, as you might overlook mistakes or areas for improvement because you're too familiar with the content. Taking a break actually allows you to kind of clear your mind, and then you can come back to your work with fresh eyes again. So this will make it easier to spot errors or identify places where your writing could be improved. Now, as you check through your work, compare your first and second drafts. Think about what are the improvements that you've made, what strategies you applied, and can you improve it further? If it's possible, you should try to get feedback on your second draft as well. And then, if needed, write a third draft. This may seem really tedious, but when you intentionally look through your work and pick out areas you did well and areas for improvement, you are sort of training yourself to think like an examiner and helping yourself to develop the skills that you need to write better each time. Think about this. Even famous books like Harry Potter went through hundreds of edits and rewrites before they were published. If we want to have good writing, we need to constantly revise it, refine it, and improve it again and again. Okay, so by now, you should have gone through the prepare steps once through. What you need to do is to go back to the RE step again, revise. You're going to pull out all your notes, your completed, improved compositions that you have just done, and then review them again during your next revision. Don't just throw away your completed compositions. You can use them to spot patterns in your writing, such as what works for you, what vocabulary do you need more of, what strategies can you use again, what common mistakes you should take note of. Then what you can do is to either rewrite an essay using that same topic again, or you could try writing an essay on another similar topic to apply what you have learned from the previous writing to this new one. And then you would go through the rest of the prepare steps again. So these are the steps to help you prepare for your Paper 1 writing exams. Follow this, and over time, you should see improvements to your writing. Alright, so now let's talk about what you should do when your exams are approaching. A few weeks before your exams, start doing timed practice tests. Set up exam conditions, so you should have a quiet space, no distractions. Make sure you inform your friends, your family, silence or switch off your phones, put them aside. What you should only have with you is, of course, your table and chair, your question, a pen, your writing paper, and a timer. You should try to treat it as a real exam, as this can help you to get exam mode ready. Then what you should do is to give yourself about 50 to 60 minutes in total. This will include your planning and writing of your entire essay as well. Once you finish writing your essay, remember to use the last two prepare steps. A, which is to analyze, and RE, which is to refine. Finally, 24 hours before your actual exam itself, you need to do a little bit of a warm-up. What you can do is a kind of a light review of your notes. Remind yourself of your strengths and your areas of weaknesses that you need to take note of. If you have time, you could also do one last timed practice. And of course, try to apply all the things that you've learned from your revision. Basically, you should be reading, writing, speaking, thinking, everything in English. not Singlish. And most importantly, get enough rest. You need to make sure that you go into the exam room fresh and well rested. On the morning of the exam, stay calm, have a quick final review if needed, and remember to stay focused during your exam. You've done all you need to prepare for this exam. You've got this. Here are a few final reminders. Writing better isn't always about writing more. It's about writing with quality. That's why you should use the prepare method. Don't just write essay after essay after essay. You need to analyze and refine your essays as well. Only then will you be able to see improvements, as compared to when you write hundreds of essays and you don't look through them after that. What's going to happen is you're going to keep making the same mistakes over and over again. So of course you won't be able to see any improvements. You cannot expect to learn something today and then be able to apply it perfectly tomorrow. What you need to do is to be consistent. Keep reviewing and refining your writing. Finally, I have some bonus practice questions for you. As you practice your writing, remember to follow the prepare steps. So let's recap what we have covered today. We talked about the exam requirements and marking criteria. We talked about how to prepare for your exams using the prepare steps. I've also given you some suggestions on what you should do before your writing exam. And I've given you some extra bonus tips as well as practice questions. I hope this video has helped you feel more confident and better prepared for your writing exams. That's all for today's lesson. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Most importantly, please leave a comment below if you have any questions about this lesson. And also feel free to send us your video requests as well. See you in the next one. Bye!